Hi everybody! I thought I would record this little video for you. I've met with many students about the different types of sentence structures, and the one that everybody is struggling with is compound complex sentences. The pathway that we've been working on is built on levels because you have to understand simple sentences in order to understand compound sentences. You have to understand what independent and dependent clauses are before you can understand complex sentences. And you have to understand what compound and complex sentences are before you can understand the compound complex sentence. So that is why we have been working through this pathway. So I thought I would record this little video to try to help you visualize what these different sentence structures look like. So simple sentences are the basic sentence. It's an independent clause. It has a subject and a predicate, and it can stand on its own. For example, sentences like, I like ice cream, I took my dog for a walk, or my brother went on vacation to the beach. Those are simple sentences because they are independent clauses that can stand on their own. When you put two simple sentences together, you come up with a compound sentence. A compound sentence is made up of two independent clauses joined by a comma and a coordinating conjunction. The coordinating conjunctions are fanboys: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. The pattern you can see is independent clause, comma, coordinating conjunction, and another independent clause. Examples of these: I like ice cream and my favorite is mint chocolate chip. You can see there is one independent clause, comma, coordinating conjunction, and another independent clause. I took my dog for a walk and we went to the park. There's one independent clause, comma, coordinating conjunction, another independent clause. And then the last one, my brother went on vacation to the beach, comma, and he saw a shark. So there's your first independent clause, comma, coordinating conjunction, another independent clause. I made this little GIF down here. You can see the sentences. So two simple sentences joining together using the fanboy and a comma make a compound sentence. Complex sentences require an independent clause and at least one dependent clause. This is where it gets a little tricky. Dependent clauses still have subjects and predicates, but they also have a subordinating conjunction. Subordinating conjunctions are our awubis words, like as, although, after, when, while, until, because, before, if, so. They can also include little phrases like even though, because that's the same idea as although. We call them subordinating conjunctions because of the stem sub. Think about sub. When you add sub to a word, it makes that word less than or lower than, like subtraction, substitute. So a subordinating conjunction makes a clause less than a sentence. It makes it dependent. It cannot stand on its own. If you have a complex sentence and the dependent clause comes first, you need a comma. If the dependent clause comes after the independent clause, you don't need a comma. So you have two possible patterns. Independent clause, there's our dependent clause with the subordinating conjunction, no commas, or your subordinating conjunction with the dependent clause, comma, independent clause. Here's some examples. I like ice cream, although I would rather have cake. There's your independent clause. There's your subordinating conjunction, which makes this a dependent clause. No need for a comma. This sentence starts with the dependent clause. Because he needed to go outside, there's your dependent clause because it starts with a subordinating conjunction, comma, and then an independent clause. And then the last one also begins with a dependent clause. There's your subordinating conjunction when it was spring break, comma, my brother went on vacation to the beach. There is the independent clause. Yep. So yeah, if you've got two independent clauses and there we go, you are joined with an awubis word, making it dependent, that is a complex sentence. Then the last one, the big one, compound complex sentences. This is as if a complex sentence and a compound sentence got married. It's just like a blend of the two. So there are several different patterns that you can use in compound complex sentences, as long as you have two independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. For some reason, my little mouse is not working and I cannot get it back, but you can look at the possible patterns. You can have an independent clause, comma, coordinating conjunction, another independent clause, and then you can end your sentence with your dependent clause. Remember, it's a dependent clause if it has a subordinating conjunction. You could start the sentence with a dependent clause, beginning with your subordinating conjunction. Then you need a comma. Then you have your independent clause, comma, coordinating conjunction, independent clause. You're ending that sentence with the compound part. So you start with a complex, end with a compound. And then the other possible is you can interrupt your two independent clauses with your dependent clause. You can start with an independent clause, comma, coordinating conjunction, and then throw in your dependent clause, and then have a comma, and then add your last independent clause. So there's a lot of patterns you can follow as long as you can find two independent clauses and at least one dependent clause. Here are some examples. I like ice cream, and my favorite is chocolate chip, although I would rather have cake. In this sentence, you can see you have an independent clause, comma, coordinating conjunction, another independent clause, a comma, and then you end with the dependent clause. The second example, because he needed to go outside, I took my dog for a walk, and we went to the park. In that sentence, you start with the dependent clause, comma, and then you have independent, comma, coordinating conjunction, independent. And the third example, it was spring break, and when my brother went on vacation to the beach, he saw a shark. The first part is an independent clause, it was spring break. Then you have your comma and your coordinating conjunction, and the dependent clause interrupts, when my brother went on vacation to the beach. So then you need another comma and finish with your independent clause. Again, tricky kind of sentence, but look for the patterns. So hopefully that will help you see the difference between simple, compound, complex, and then the compound complex sentences. Good luck!